In a few seconds, I've got an order, there we go, to go short. So now I am short the euro yen. Stop loss is placed. Take profit is placed. Now, as this trade progresses, I will manage it in order to reduce the risk so that if I do get stopped out, it's going to be just a small loss as opposed to the full risk. Well, this took us out pretty quickly. We had the signal to go short here, and I did not get much of a chance. I didn't get any chance to manage this trade. The market just fell right through. It was called a reset short trade, and we got the signal to go short on this gray candle here, and the target being down here just got smashed. 2-3 candles later, we were out of the trade very, very quick. This is exactly how we like it to go. This is a reset trade. This is a reset short trade. Signal is very clear, and the momentum, we're not expecting a whole lot of momentum, which is why we went for 1-to-1 on this one, simply because it was a reset trade. Let's take a quick look and see what we made on this particular short. This is it here. We got $1,109, almost $1,110. This was the short on the close of this candle, which of course is the open of the next one. Stop loss was placed appropriately, and I did not get a real opportunity to manage the trade. Now, if this next candle had opened, this would have been a great opportunity to manage the trade. That wasn't the case. That's okay. The market moved in our favor very quickly, and we were out in 3 candles. I wish all my trades would go as fast as this one. I've got a signal to take a long trade, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to buy. Now I'm in this trade. Stop loss goes just underneath, and take profit is better than 1-to-1. So again, this is a market that's not warranting a 2-to-1 like I'd like. So we're going for an appropriate target with this. It's better than 1-to-1, so we're still doing okay. Now, as this trade progresses, I will be managing it. Very important concept, very important key to making more than we lose. So the risk is going to be reduced. Every candle that I get an opportunity to do that, I will be moving my stop loss. So I'm going to put the video on pause, and I'll be back shortly. Trade is moving in my favor, and these dots have moved up. So I'm going to take my stop loss and cut the risk right in half. So I'm risking half of what the initial risk was originally. So now I am going to go and put the video back on pause, and I'll be back very shortly. Even though we're getting something of a pullback, I am going to manage this a little bit further. So I've got my stop loss reduced now to just very little. So if I do lose this trade, it's going to be just by a tiny amount. Again, when I get an opportunity to manage this even further, I will come back. But for now, I'm going to put the video on pause. I'm going to move my stop now into profit just a little bit. So no matter what happens, if I lose this trade, or at least if the stop loss gets hit, I won't lose any money. I'm going to actually make a little bit of money. So it's up in the air right now. I'll either make a little bit or I'll make a lot, depending on what the market does from here. But because of proper trade management, I can't lose on this trade. So I'm going to put the video on pause, and I'll be back when there is some further development. I'm going to move my stop loss into profit a little bit further. So I am underneath the dot, and we've locked in a decent amount of profit on this. Now, we're very, very close to getting our take profit hit, and hopefully that's going to happen while I'm recording this. I'm going to put the video on pause if it doesn't look like we're getting there. It's a little bit of a pullback, just a couple ticks. So I'll put the video on pause, and with some luck, I'm going to catch this live. Well, the price popped up pretty quick and took us out. We had our take profit hit. It was a nice profitable trade. Let's take a look at the arrows, the entries, the exit, and what we made on this. So This is the trade. Our entry was here, equilibrium long trade, and we were targeting this upper level, this outer channel. You can see the little blue mark here. This is where we targeted, and we got taken out. Price smashed through it at one point. We're hesitant in this area here. It did pull back a little bit, but it didn't encroach too much towards our stop loss. We can see here that our stop loss was in profit. Our entry is at this blue arrow. Our stop loss was in profit, and our take profit did get hit. Now, if this one candle didn't hit it, the next one definitely would have, and it may continue up to hit the current outer channel. That is very likely given the situation and the way the indicators are oriented. So this is a well-played trade. If we take a look down here on this one, because we went for a little bit more on this, we made $2,170.04. And that is a great trade. That is a nice night's worth of work. Thanks for watching this trade, and I hope to see you in another live trade video. In a few seconds here, I'm going to take a short equilibrium trade. This is the Euro odd, and I'm going to get a signal if this candle closes about where it is. It can go up or down a little bit, but if it closes in this area, then I am good for a short trade. So we've got the open of the next candle, and I'm going to sell. So now I've sold, my stop loss is placed, and my take profit is placed. So as this trade progresses, I will be monitoring it, and I will manage it as I get a chance to do so. So right now, I'll put the video on pause, and I shall be back. I'm going to manage this trade to break even, just a little bit better than break even. Because this is a sell trade, I want to make sure that I add the spread on top of where I'm placing my stop loss. So I've got the stop where I'd regularly put it, and then I want to add the spread to this. And with this, I also want to be sure not to worry, because when the price comes down, it needs to drop below this level in order for it to hit my take profit. It's a small time frame, so this is more noticeable. When you're trading a bigger time frame, an hour, 4 hours, then you don't really notice the market movement so far above or below these lines. But again, with a 5-minute time frame like this one, it's much more noticeable. So again, I'm going to put the video on pause, and I'll be back. I'm going to manage this a little bit further. I'll show you what I'll do. Take my crosshairs, put it where I would regularly place my stop, and 3 pips. That's what the spread is. So it's actually placed pretty well, but I'm going to move this just a little bit. I want to lock in just a little bit more because we are really on the way here. It would be a shame to lose or break even if we can at least lock in a little bit, especially when we're this close to our take profit. What we'll need is for the market to get to this red line here, this outer channel. Once the market gets to this outer channel, we will be taken out in profit. With the new dot, I am going to manage the trade a little bit further. All right, so that is the case. Now, I am going to show the ask line, and that is going to show me exactly where I need to hit. Now, if I go right click, properties, under the comments tab, show ask line, what I'll get is the ask line. This is what this solid red line is. This solid red line has to hit my exit. Once that hits my exit, then I will be out of the trade. So that is what we're watching, is not the price, but this ask line. I'm going to move my stop loss a little bit now. I'm going to see where we are. This is where I want it. This is where I want it to be. So this is where my stop loss goes. Now, we are in profit. We've locked in a substantial amount, and we're very, very close to getting our take profit hit. Now, if it doesn't get hit, as it almost did here, we're a fraction of a pip away, probably 1/10 of a pip away. It didn't hit, and then it pulled back considerably. And it looks like it's back on the way again. But if it doesn't hit our take profit, and it does hit our stop loss, we're still going to make money on this trade. Then a new dot and a new place to put my stop. And we are, again, fraction of a pip away from our take profit. Once this ask line hits our exit line, then we'll be out of the trade. And there it is. We are officially out of the trade. We don't close the trade if it gets close but doesn't hit the take profit. That skews your numbers. You want to set profit targets that are ideal, that are realistic, that can get hit, and then let the market hit your target. So let's take a look at this trade and how much we made on this one. This one is more like the numbers that we're used to. This is $1,897.28. We got into an equilibrium short trade at this point here, and the market took off. Just like the way the market moves, it is going to have these little ups and downs along the way. Having a stop loss technique that accommodates for a little bit of that market movement is ideal. You want to have that allowance for the market to make that zigzag as it moves. Now, this was an equilibrium short trade. It turned out really nice. We waited and we got our profit on this one. Again, $1,897.28. See you guys in another live trade. I've got a signal to go short. I will do that. This is the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Entry has happened. Stop loss is placed. Take profit is also placed. All right, now when this take profit gets hit, price is going to have to drop below by about 2 pips or so. So the market has to get underneath this level. As this trade progresses, I'm going to manage it. I want to reduce the risk on this. So I'm going to put the video on pause, and when I get an opportunity to do that, I will come back. See you in just a moment. We're doing okay with this one. This is the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Now I'm going to manage my trade a little bit. It's not going to be a lot because I want to make sure I leave room for the spread in here. So I've reduced the risk on this trade. Now it looks closer to a 2-to-1 reward to risk on this. As this trade progresses, I'm going to continue to manage the trade in this manner. So I'm going to put the video back on pause and I shall return in just a moment. This trade pulled back a little bit, but it's resumed its market direction. I'm going to just take a quick look and see where about 2 pips is. All right, so this is where I'm going to put my stop loss. So I'm reducing the risk quite a bit on this trade. Now, in order for this trade to exit, for this short to win, I need to move about 2 pips below this level here. So it'll be just above this red line. So we need the market to get, it'll seem like a long ways below, but that's because of the smaller time frame. There's a 5-minute time frame. On a 1 hour, 4 hour, you wouldn't hardly even notice that space. But because it is a smaller time frame, it's going to appear to move below a little bit further. So 2 pips below and we'll be out of this trade. We've reduced the risk substantially. So no matter what happens, if we win, awesome. If we lose, the loss is going to be quite small. All right, I'll put the video back on pause and I will come back in just a moment. Well, we got the move we were looking for. The market pushed itself down and took us out of this trade. This was an equilibrium short. Let's take a look and see some numbers here. We'll put the arrows on the chart and take a quick look at the profit that we made on this one. Not a huge trade, $668.41. Now it's a good day. It's a good day. I never made this much printing t-shirts. $668.41. And this happened in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 45 minutes. Nice. That's a good profit in 45 minutes worth of not that hard work. Now, we got into this trade here. This was an equilibrium short trade, and the market moved our favor, and then it did pull back a little bit. Now, that's normal. That's going to happen from time to time. We'd like to see that the market just takes one candle, goes through a take profit, but that very rarely happens. It does happen, but it's rare. This is more realistic. The market pulled back and then continued on its way, and finally it did take us out at our take profit. The risk was reduced. So we have a very small stop and a much bigger take profit. Well played. Didn't go really far. It's a smaller time frame, so we weren't looking for really big pips on this one. But we still ended up with $668.41. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another live trade video.